by which stage the other two have gone clear, but I don't think, given the way the front two have run, I don't think Fortitude would have got much closer. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah, me too. The win, though, is Thapira, Jim Crowley and Charles Hills, beating, obviously, Made in India. This Made in India, they'll be delighted with that. I know she's finished, no one likes finishing second, but that is a cracking run, isn't it?
Really good.
Up in grade.
It's a very good run, and she's improved again. You look at the distance back to the rest of them. She's up against a filly, a really well-bred war front filly, Thapira, who's just found her niche now as a sprinter, and she's stuck her head down. She's run all the way to the line. She's doing nothing wrong. She's trying her best, and she's just bumped into one. But like I say, I really think this is a strong piece of form. Nothing lost in defeat at all for the runner-up, and I'm pretty sure that she'll be winning races again. She'll probably only edge up to mid-70s, and there are more handicaps in it.
Jim Crowley rode a winner on the first for Sir Michael Start, so this is a winning jockey and owner double in the same colours of Hamdan Al Maktoum. But that second, Made in India, Con Harrington and Eric Alston, they're a deadly force as well, aren't they? Owner and trainer, and I'm sure this second, Made in India, is bred to improve. Let's get the SPs.
Yeah, impressive winner. 2 in the day for Jim Crowley, with a promise of more to come. 11-4 favourite. Made in India second at 3-1. Let's check out the winning time for that filly's handicap. 1:10.60, which is 4:17. Sorry, that's the standard. 1:14.77. 4:17 outside the standard at nothing for 3 o'clock. We left Newbury in a bit of a rush. Wouldn't mind revisiting that. With James, we're set in stone with your 9-1 winner. Quickwood Green was second at 7-1. Grand Inquisitors ran well, actually, travelled nicely into 12-1. Exceeding Power was fourth at 25-1. Winner for Pat Shannon and Rowan Scott. The time was 1:44.3, which is 5:13 outside the standard, the first handicap race. And older horses in action for the first time this afternoon. But James, it's hard not to be impressed. She came from stall 11 and sort of just after halfway she was travelling much the best.
Yes, yeah, there didn't appear to be that much in the draw here.
I just thought that Kingston Kurjung was going to go and stand side here momentarily. But
I'm a fan of Kieran Fox. He comes out very well on the jockey numbers, but this isn't his finest moment. Folks, if you're watching this at home and you have a plan, stick to it. Don't do it because you just look foolish if you change midstream like that. Well, if you're going to come over to the stand side, then stay over on the stand side, but don't do that, because anyway, I'll leave that to the annals of horse racing history. But back to the winner, who was in the black, red and yellow colours with the noseband, a fairly diminutive horse hidden in behind the more hulking figures of the two front runners, but travelling extremely strongly throughout and runs out a very impressive winner. I was sceptical about her doing this against better foes, but far from it now. I couldn't have been more wrong, as she won this in great style. Remember, 5 seconds over is for her. Everything else was 6 seconds plus over here. How much was that she handled the ground better than her opponents? Well, I'm not sure that is the case. She acts well on the ground, but look at this. She's got everything covered, hasn't she? And the race looked like it was taking shape more towards the far side this time, so I don't think there really is anything in the track today anyway. It might change tomorrow, but today you can see that there are horses behind spread across its width. Cricklewood Green, who we talked about extensively in the preamble, proved he acted on soft ground and ran really well in second. The disappointment of the race was the wretched Pursuing Steed, who came here on a 6-timer, 5-timer, and never picked up a leg.
he was beaten before halfway, wasn't it?
Desperate. I mean, he took some driving to win a couple of starts ago. He's a bit of a lazy horse, but nothing anywhere near this realm of disappointment. And he dropped away some way out, and maybe just the effects of a busy spell. He had 23 days off, so I'm inclined to think something else is at work that we're not quite sure about at this stage. But he'll pick up the threads of his improvement at some point, I'm pretty sure. As for Jumeirah Prince, he's in the colours of Dubawi's owner, my horse, Dubawi. Sheikh of 8 on the right there, and I think probably the ground was a little bit tacky for him perhaps, but again he showed his usual wayward tendencies, hanging left I think it was over a furlong out, and then not really running on with great gusto. But this Little Filly did, and won it with a ton in hand now.
She's won a mark of 78, so yeah, handicapper will have a say, but black type at some point because she can handle most sorts of ground. No,
I'm not
further down the line.
I'm not buying.
No,
I'm not buying at this stage.
no.
No.
Even when she goes up to mid 80s, and I know it's another couple of steps away.
No, I'm not buying yet,
Right.
but I could be wrong. She's only 3, and she has made such relentless progress. I wouldn't want to, but I think
Pat Shannon's quite good at travelling them.
he's really good. I'm just looking down his list of the carbon dating, one of your favourite horses, ionisation, born innocent,
By the sire,
warp factor, yeah.
a lot of them not famous name. What's the other sire? Carbon Dave.
Or
The
carbon
owns him himself. The owner stands him and covers about 9 mares a year.
It's a marvellous cottage industry example, isn't it? I've completely forgotten his name for the time being.
So have I.
Is it the carbon unit?
Yes, that's the one.
Is that what it's
That's
called?
the one, yes. Yeah,
That's
it is.
really?
Yeah. The owner owns it and stands himself.
Right. Yes, I remember now, because I remember looking at what a carbon unit was and failing to find it. But it doesn't matter because...
If you buy him a pint, he might let you send your mare to him.
Yeah, that's kind of him to give
But
me
you haven't got a mare, have you?
Not at this stage. No, not like my friend and colleague Nick Luck. I don't have to choose between some of the world's great stallions each year. So, not as yet. It's early days yet. The 310, which is now 311 now, but it will be what was scheduled to be the 310 is a belting race. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep. Hopefully it won't be too far away.
Yep.
That next race at Newbury.
Set your own odds with Betfair Exchange and go head-to-head with fellow punters. You'll often find better odds, greater value, and bigger winnings with Betfair Exchange. And Betfair have been best odds on 93% of horses in live ITV races so far in 2017. Betfair. Win bigger.
Back over to Newbury, go for the 310. It's a handicap over the 1 mile, 5.5 furlongs. A couple of interesting 3-year-olds among the field of 9. Graduate won this race last year. Paul Thomas, first start for Michael Madgwick today. Fran Berry on board 2 is Machine Learner. Ryan Moore 3 is Cool McCavity. Dane O'Neill 4 Paris Protocol. Sean Levy 5 is Rydon. Hector Crouch claiming 3. 6 is New World Power, Sylvester de Souza. 7 Great Sound, Frankie Dettori. 8 Clovelly Bay, Tyler Saunders, who's claiming 6 of his £7. And 9 Comrade Conrad. The amount of Kieran Schumacher. Betting is just coming through. So we're playing catch up at Newbury. Great Sound is 6-4 favourite here for John Gosden and Frankie Dettori. And Machine Learner 9-2 joint second favourite with New World Power. 11-2 and bigger prices the rest. James will be alongside me.
I am.
Where do you want to start here?
Anywhere. Every horse is equally interesting. That's what I'll start with. This Machine Learner. Now, if you think back to a race we watched 2 races ago, and I was talking then about how a price is composed of these 2 components, and that Quaroon was a notable market positive based on the fact that its public information was not strong enough to support the price, but the private information that we don't know about was obviously very good, and the horse went and won. Well, we've now got the opposite case, because the horse in shot there, Machine Learner, cannot in a billion years be a 9-2 chance here. He cannot have a 22% chance of winning this race. It must be much higher than that.
Right.
So he is a significant market negative based on... He comes out of the strongest race of any horse here, I think. It's worked out extremely well. The first 3 were 5 lengths clear. He appears to be an improved animal. And he's got... Right, he's not 9-2 now. What price? What is his latest price? I'm just being...
9-2.
He is 9-2, yeah, sorry. Conflicting signals there from my computer. And he's got Ryan Moore on board as well, so there are loads of things to make him tight in the betting. Ryan Moore shows a loss every year as a rider, not because he's a very good rider, but because he knocks about 1.5 points off the price of every horse he rides, and his effect as a rider can't be that great because no jockey's effect is that great. And yet here, he's aboard, despite his presence on Machine Learner. Machine Learner is a much bigger price than might have been the case. He was put in the racing poll to support my argument. He was put in the racing poll at 5-2, which admittedly was probably not in the knowledge that Great Sound was really strongly fancied. But we'll see how he gets on here, Machine Learner. Whether it's based on the ground or what it's based on, I am not sure.
He's only had a couple of starts for Joe Chute.
But he's the one to beat on form.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Okay. And Reimer and the trainer have teamed up to good success the last couple of days at Salisbury. He will jump out of stall 9. A Great Sound we should touch on, son of Galileo, only 2 starts. And up and trip.
Well,
from a yard here, continue to churn the winners out.
Yeah, and you know he's a Gosden horse with a decent pedigree, and you know if he wins the race, you can look back and say, great, he's by Galileo. I mean, maybe it'll all be obvious afterwards. It looks really good until you switch the video on, and then I wasn't really enamoured with him. Like at Salisbury last time, he was never travelling, and he didn't. He was slowly away as well, or a shade slowly away. He wasn't that badly away, but he never really kind of attacked the race in any shape or form, and he got hammered by On to Victory, who's a more exposed horse than some of the ones that he encounters here. But against that, he's had 51 days off. Maybe he's been reschooled, and maybe he's made physical progress. He's a nice-looking horse, isn't he, by Galileo?
He's one of 2 3-year-olds in the race. They get 9-pound pull weight for age in this time of the year over this trip. The other one is Conrad for Roger Charles and Kieran Schumacher.
Right, well, full disclosure, I back this horse.
Okay.
Also, full disclosure, it's not necessarily because I think he's got a brilliant chance here, but he's a horse I know a fair bit about. Like his name, yeah. I'm distantly related to Michael Pescod. No, I'm not. It's more that I just think this horse is very, very well handicapped. I actually don't think he'll stay today. So I'm sorry if that is bizarrely conflicting. I'm just basically telling the truth of what I feel. But I cannot live on in this world if this horse wins and I'm not on.
Right.
Because I think that he'll end up his career rated in the 90s, and he's only rated 79 at the moment. I can't figure out for the life of me what Connections are doing stepping him up in trip this sharply, abandoning ship on his 10 furlong career, which the Meteor Light race I think is a really strong race.
Yes.
And you know, I think it's too soon to be throwing him into the out and out staying category, which of 13 furlong 60, but that hasn't put me off. So with Kieran Schumacher on board, he's got the make of a stare at least, hasn't he? He's quite a wiry, lengthy horse, but warning to anybody, he could easily not get the trip here, but if he doesn't, then look out for him when he's dropped back in trip next time. And if you want to look up his form, I just think it's really strong form for horse rated 79. I think he came out the third best at the weights in that last run. And yeah, I really like him as a horse, so good luck to me and anybody else backing him.
Okay, he's currently 11-2. Ride on, visor on. He's been a good old servant over the years, 6 years of age. We know plenty about him. For Gary Moore, Hector Crouch, he's enjoying a really good spell. He had a 4-timer. He had a glorious Goodwood winner for his boss, Gary Moore, at 100-1 recently. His winning form, he's only won 3 times, but his horse is 10 further places. He's been a really good fun horse for his owners, but most of his best form is on better ground than this.
Yeah, and it's right. That's a good summary. He's given his owners a lot of fun. 31 starts. He's made the frame 13 times. He's only won 3 races. He's not that fond of winning. He doesn't really find that much. And soft ground doesn't strike me as being particularly his bag. He's a useful horse when right. He was once rated. I think he was once rated in the mid. Yeah, he was once rated 101.
Yeah.
Good grief. So he's a very useful horse, and for that reason I'll abstain from insulting him. But he's a risky betting proposition unless you are thinking of a play spot horse.
Okay, and 22-1, bigger prices. The rest as they arrive down at the start.
So the market here is basically very positive on Great Sound, but it's also positive on this New World Power. Well, I think I've got completely wrong, because I thought he was a bit of a wretch, to be honest. I don't like him at all. He's 0 for 7, and several of those have been. He's basically. I know he hasn't really been maybe fully exploded, but listen to the prices he started: 11-4 favourite, 11-8 favourite, 15-8 second favourite, 11-8 favourite, 5-4 favourite, 6-4 favourite, and he's 0 for 7. I mean, if that doesn't sum up, that doesn't give you a view into New World Power's mind, then I don't know what does. But against that is the fact that he has got SDS on board for the first time. No disrespect for some of the other good jockeys that have ridden him, and he has been ridden by good jockeys, but maybe a different approach will suit him, a more straightforward approach. He has been hung on to relentlessly. I suspect he won't be hung on to today, do you? I suspect he might be striped. So we'll see whether that yields any more improvement, but he'll win without my support.
He'll go into stall 4. It'll be one of the last forward. 12 minutes past post time. Try and catch up. But last few going forward. The rain looks like it's coming down again. Let's get back to Mark, who'll give us an excellent commentary, no doubt, and a weather update, Jibs.
Yep.
Well, you're right. It's starting to rain again, as you can quite clearly see on that shot. Here goes Comrade Conrad and New World Power to complete the line. Last couple moving into line now. They're in the gate. And they're off. Coolmer Cavity broke a step slow, and taken back is New World Power. They go through the early stages of the Berry Brothers and Rudd Cellar Plan handicap. Very nearly 1 3/4 miles ahead of them from the start. And Paris Protocol has the early lead. It's gone on by 1.5 lengths to Comrade Conrad, racing in second position. Hoyle Thomas, the winner of the race back in 2013, is racing in third. And then Great Sound in fourth, and Coolmer Cavity making up for a step slow start. He's now racing in fifth position in advance of Rydan, and then Clavelli Bay towards the outside. And the last two are Machine Learner, who's towards the outside of New World Power. They go inside the final 1.25 miles, and it's Sean Levy and Paris Protocol who still lead the way. Out in front still by just over 1 length to Comrade Conrad racing in second, and Hoyle Thomas the inside rail in third. 1.5 lengths back to Great Sound and Frank Dettori in fourth. Coolmer Cavity, the yellow, is in fifth. Rydan in sixth. Clavelli Bay in seventh. New World Power is in eighth. And Machine Learner is the back marker as they prepare to take the turn. So coming inside the final mile, and it's still Paris Protocol who leads the way by nearly 2 lengths
to Comrade Conrad racing in second, and Poyle Thomas the rail is in third. In fourth is Great Sound. There's been little change so far. Clavelli Bay is the one who's quite keen, getting plenty of daylight towards the outside, as now Frankie Dettori makes a significant move there on Great Sound, and he really gave the hustle up there to Great Sound, but in fact he's just been stopped as Clavelli Bay now just comes into the field, having whipped round the outside. So Clavelli Bay now has pulled his way to the front. In second, Paris Protocol with 5 furlongs to go. Back in third position, Comrade Conrad, and in fourth is Poyle Thomas. Frankie is now getting quite vigorous here on Great Sound in fifth position, 2 lengths back to Cool McCavity. Then Rydan on that one's outside. Machine Learner still last but one, and New World Power is the back marker. They've only got 3.5 furlongs to go. Paris Protocol and Clavelli Bay are now about to be joined by a rousted along Great Sound. And Great Sound, with Frankie very much trying to make his mind up for him, has come through now to take the lead over Clavelli Bay. And over on the far side, Paris Protocol now being driven. Comrade Conrad not finding a great deal, it would appear. On the outside then is Rydan. Trying to get a seam is Ryan Moore on Machine Learner. He couldn't get it out. Down the wide outside, New World Power tries to come on. They've got now less than a furlong to go. Great Sound with now Comrade Conrad beginning to rally in second. A half furlong to go. Great Sound is out in front. A positive ride by Frankie wins on Great Sound. Comrade Conrad in second, and Paris Protocol was third.
Yeah, John Guzman and Frankie Dettori team up. Their second success of the afternoon at Newbury. 6-4 favourite, Great Sound wins. Beats Comrade Conrad in second, and Paris Protocol in third. Richard Hannon and Sean Levy. We're going to watch it again from the start, and really could do it. Quite a confusing race, to be honest.
It was, yeah, it was. I think the ground probably threw a few horses off their form. I think this is an excellent piece of riding. He's probably on the best horse, Frankie Dettori, but he was alert to the fact this horse can go through a real flat patch in his races. He's not a horse I'm fond of, Great Sound. I'm still not fond of him. He's a magnificent looking horse. Really looks the part. He's filled out really well, and of course being by Galileo, there's always the potential for a horse like that to improve and improve and improve. But the horse I backed, Comrade Conrad, finished second. I thought he was going to be last about 2 furlongs out, and obviously Roger Chant was dead right to step him up in trips. Clearly he does stay a lot better than I thought he does. I'm actually disheartened by the fact that he went through the race like that, because he didn't go through the race like a massively well handicapped horse today. Well, maybe he ran into a good one.
Hacked early, haven't they?
I think maybe this is a really uneven race.
Clavelli Bay gets a run on with young Tyler Saunders heading along the side of the track.
Yeah, he does.
Just where Frankie was about to make a move.
Yeah.
He circumnavigates him. And then your horse, Comrade Conrad, looks like he was going to fall out the back of the telly.
Did.
I don't know, did he re-rally, or the ones in front just not doing a lot?
I was looking for him on the Discovery Channel, 2 furlongs out.
Yeah.
But no, I think Machine Learner didn't want a bar of it. He was very weak in the betting. New World Power found absolutely nothing as usual.
Well, he momentarily looked like he was going to. I don't know. I'm confused. I want to watch it again.
No, I agree with you. It was an odd race to watch visually, but